Habari, Jambo, Karibu. Inaki, welcome to the program. My name is Tabitha. We are going to share a topic that is very close to my heart. And I must commend you, my fans, because one of you recommended that I cover this topic. And if you have any other topic that you would like me to cover concerning health, please feel free and comment in the comment section below so that I'll be able to know what you want, and I am willing to present any topic that you have or any topic of health that you want me to cover. Now, and the topic is liver cirrhosis or liver cirrhosis. Liver cirrhosis is the chronic damage to the liver, and it is caused by a variety of reasons. One of the causes of liver damage is what we call viruses. Viruses can be one of the causes. The second cause is diabetes. The third one is what we call hereditary hemochromatosis. And the other one is chronic alcohol consumption. These are the 4 known causes of liver cirrhosis. Now, what can be done about them? You may wonder, once your liver is damaged, is there something that can be done? Now, once there is damage to the liver cells, you need to know that the scarring is irreversible. However, what can be done is prevention of further scarring of the liver. Now, we know the liver is one of the largest, actually it's the largest gland in the body. It's supplied to the liver, comes from the portal vein. The second one is the hepatic artery. These are the 2 vessels, main vessels that supply the liver. The cells, let us assume that my fingers are the cells of the liver, what we call sinusoids. In between them, they are interwoven like this. In between them, there are canals or channels where blood vessels pass, and at the same time, channels or canals where bile, which is produced in the liver, passes through so that it gathers together in a small gourd-like organ known as the gallbladder. And the gallbladder lies at the belly of the liver. Now, that is how it works. The canals and the blood vessels they pass between the liver cells, what we call the sinusoids. Now, if there is any inflammation or any scarring of the liver cells, they will shrink and squeeze the canals or the channels and the blood vessels. Now, this squeezing and the closing off of the communication causes obstruction. Now, obstruction of the bile when it's moving to the gallbladder, obstruction of the blood vessels as blood is supposed to pass through. So the accumulation of blood seeps through the blood vessels of the portal vein, and it makes a lot of water to accumulate in the abdomen. So from there now, we are going to cover the signs and symptoms. What are the signs and symptoms of liver cirrhosis? Initially, we have the initial symptoms. Number 1, we have fatigue. There is feeling of tiredness, a lot of tiredness, because the metabolism, the body is not able to break down the food that you eat so that it is used for energy. That is where the tiredness and the weakness comes in. Number 2, we are having what we call weight loss, because the food that you eat is not being digested well, especially glucose. That is how come the body now will go to the reserves, the body reserves that are there, and break down whatever sugar that the body has, whatever reserves that the body has, so it will break them down, hence causing what we call weight loss. Now, as it progresses, as the disease process progresses, you will get other symptoms as follows. Number 1, swollen abdomen. The abdomen is swollen, and like I said, the swelling comes in because of the fluid that is accumulating in the gut or in the abdomen. Now, that is about the reason, that's the cause of the swelling of the abdomen. Number two, together with the swelling of the abdomen, if you have a lot of pressure inside the abdomen, it will press on the lungs. Therefore, that is what we call shortness of breath. The person or as the individual is not able to breathe deeply because there is fluid in the abdomen that is preventing breathing or normal breathing. That is where you are having shortness of breath. The other symptoms are as follows. That is jaundice, or the yellowing or yellowness of the sclera or of the eyes. This yellowing comes in because the bile canals that we talked about, which are in the liver, are blocked, so the bile is unable to find its access to the gallbladder. So what happens? This bile is enclosed and it's absorbed back into the system. That is where now you find the yellowness of the eyes. Together with the yellowness of the eyes or the symptoms associated with bile accumulation or bilirubin accumulation is what we call, now, as the liver damage continues, the scarring continues, it means that more cells are dead. More liver cells die, and the scarring happens, and it means they tighten across the channels that we talked about, and also the blood vessels. Now, this results in what we call jaundice, or the yellowing of the eyes and the skin. The second symptom that is later, that develops later, is intestinal bleeding. There are blood vessels that develop in the stomach, what we call varices, gastroesophageal varices. These veins develop because of pressure from the portal vein, because it's not draining well. And once these blood vessels break down, then you will end up having bleeding or vomiting. Some people vomit blood. That is how the vomiting of blood comes in. The accumulated bile also leads to what we call itching. So there is itching in the skin. Yeah? So there is itching of the skin because of the accumulated bilirubin or the accumulated bile in the system. Now, we are talking about abdominal swelling because of what we call ascites. That is the fluid that collects inside the abdomen, and swelling. So, having known the symptoms, and as it progresses later, and because we said that the liver is very important in the metabolism of food, there is confusion, there is weight loss, sometimes even weight gain because of the accumulated fluid. Management. Now, the second point we are going to handle is management. How do you handle liver cirrhosis? One, let us look at prevention first before we even go to management. How can you prevent liver cirrhosis? We said, let us look at the causes so that we now know the management. One, we said that alcohol is toxic to the liver. How can we prevent further damage? It's by stopping consumption of alcohol, or reducing if you cannot stop, but stopping is the ideal. Number two, we said that insulin resistance can be another one, or diabetes can also be another cause. It is making sure that the diabetes is handled very well, ensure that you have your doctor taking care of you, and that your blood sugars are handled well. Now, in prevention, it is also, we talked about viruses being part of the reason or part of the causes. So that is why it's important for you to have vaccination from hepatitis A and hepatitis B. This will help you so that you are able to develop immunity against hepatitis. Now, as you may well know, there are some people who have a familial history of liver cirrhosis. If you are one of them, you need to go and have your blood tested so that we find out whether you are likely to have the cirrhosis. A blood test can be done to know the iron level. Another one can be done to know your genetic markup, whether you have a genetic markup for some diseases like the ones I mentioned, that is hereditary hemochromatosis. If you have it, then you will start being followed up. So that is about liver cirrhosis, and you see it is a manageable condition, and what you are supposed to do is Because this disease is a progressive one, you need to go early enough so that if you have any symptoms, go and get seek medical advice so that these tests can be done, and then you will be advised accordingly, and the conditions that are promoting liver cirrhosis will be managed early enough. The diagnosis of liver cirrhosis is not a death sentence, but there is something that can be done. Thank you for listening to me, and share with your friends. And if you have any suggestion in the management, or if you have had the disease, comment in the comment section below how was it managed. See you in the next one. Bye.